Hi friends, last time we looked at Pinky and Rex, we were just getting to know the characters. So today we're going to start with a little bit of Pinky and Rex. Again, this time we're going to start reading chapter 2 called Cookies and Lemonade. Mrs. Morgan gave Pinky cookies with his lemonade. You know, I hadn't baked cookies for years until you and your father made me some, she told him. I'd forgotten how much better they are than the store-bought kind. Yes, ma'am, Pinky said. They looked like good cookies, but he had no interest in eating them. Mrs. Morgan nodded toward a large bush blooming in her backyard. Did you ever see such an explosion of pink? She asked. Why, that's your favorite color, isn't it? Pinky blushed. His favorite color was what had gotten him into trouble with the bully. Yes, ma'am, he answered. And that's how you got your nickname. You know, I don't remember your real name. I've been living across the street from you since before you were born, and all I can think to call you is Pinky. William, Pinky muttered. William, Mrs. Morgan echoed. That's right. She took a sip of her lemonade and stared for a long time at the flowering bush. I was just thinking, Mrs. Morgan said, almost as if Pinky weren't there, that I should paint that bush. Don't you like it the color it is? Pinky asked. Mrs. Morgan burst into laughter. No, I mean I should paint a picture of it. I used to paint pictures a long time ago. Before she could go on, someone shouted, Pinky! It was Rex, waving from her driveway next door. Join us for cookies and lemonade, Mrs. Morgan called out. Rex came running. Pinky wished his friend hadn't seen him there. He didn't want her to find out about Kevin pushing him off his bike. Luckily, the subject didn't come up. Rex was full of news about her baby brother Matthew. She talked and never noticed that Pinky wasn't eating his cookies, nor that Mrs. Morgan was lost in thoughts of her own. Are you already learning a lot about Pinky and Rex? And Mrs. Morgan, for that matter. I sure am. Did you know that there are adult researchers who study kids? Like a researcher could knock on this door and say, Can I come in? I'm doing a research on so-and-so, and I'd like to observe him. Here is my question. If a researcher wanted to watch you and learn about what you are like as a person, do you think we should put a desk in the back of the room away from everyone facing the wall and have you work at that desk for the next few weeks so the researcher could really watch you? Or do you think that to get to know you, it'd be best for the researcher to watch you in your book club, as you're doing your Zoom meeting, while you're out playing with your friends? What do you think? So for you to really have deep, thoughtful ideas about your characters, whether we're talking about any of you, or if we're talking about Frog, Toad, Pinky, or Rex, you're saying that you, as the researcher, need to pay close attention to the relationships the characters have. You can't just think about how they are when they are alone. You need to think about how they are with other people. One more thing. If the researcher watches you with one person, say the researcher watches you with the principal, Ms. Asp, will the researcher know about how you act with all people? Or does the researcher have to watch you with different people, like with the principal, with your mom, with your brother, with your best friend? What do you think? Yeah, they need to watch you with all kinds of people to see what you're really like. So today, I want to teach you that to have deep ideas about a character, it helps to study that person's relationship with others. What's the person like when in one relationship? What about a different one? How does the character act around other characters? And that right there is why we're moving on for a little bit from Frog and Toad. Frog and Toad are only working with each other pretty much. I mean, we had a little Robin come in, a little bit of this and that. But in this story, the very first part, we didn't even see Pinky with Rex yet. We just saw Pinky with the bully and Mrs. Morgan. So now we've seen how he acts with a bully, with Mrs. Morgan, and now we're just getting started on learning about how he is with Rex. So let's think about some of the relationships the characters in our books have. Then we can think, how is this helping me to get to know the main character even better? So with Pinky and Rex, we know more about Pinky because of his relationships. We know about his relationship with his friend Rex, but do we say then, okay, now I know all there is to know about Pinky? Absolutely not. Because we also get to know Pinky by seeing what he was like with Kevin the bully. Those of you who are friends with Pinky also think for a minute about whether Pinky is the same when he's with Rex and when he's with the bully. So in this book, let's just kind of page through this for a second. So this is the part where he was saying sissy. Mrs. Morgan comes out. And now let's look at this part and start thinking about how he might act with these other people. Look at, there's Pinky and these kids are having an argument, it looks like. So if we're looking at the character of a person, we're also looking how that shows in their relationships. So I'm going to read a little bit more here, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Pinky based on how he acts with these people. At recess the next day, Kevin's foot stopped the soccer ball Pinky was chasing. Pinky grabbed for it, but Kevin grabbed it first. "How come you're always playing with girls?" Kevin asked, wrapping his arms around the ball. Pinky glanced over his shoulder at Rex. "She's my friend," Pinky said. Kevin laughed, which brought two other boys to his side. "This little squirt plays with girls," he told the new arrivals. "That's because he's a girl too. Know what his name is?" The boys looked as though if they weren't sure whether to laugh or act tough. They watched Kevin for a sign. Ooh, that means that these kids act different around Kevin. I think they might be a little bit afraid of him so that he doesn't bully them. Kevin pursed his lips. "Pinky," he said in a mocking way. He started to laugh. The other boys' faces relaxed as they started laughing too. See that? They were waiting to see what he was like before they acted a certain way. Just then, Pinky's friend Anthony came over. "Give him back his ball," Anthony said. "Ooh," crooned one of the boys. "Second graders, I'm so scared." "Yeah, well, being in the third grade doesn't make you anybody," Anthony said, punching the ball hard and knocking it out of Kevin's arms. Kevin went for it, but Anthony was faster. "Come on, Pinky," Anthony said. "Let's go." Ooh, he's not afraid or not worried about that guy. Kevin started after them. Then he changed his mind. "Hey, kid, watch out who you play with," he shouted. "You might turn into a girl, too." Anthony scowled. "What's he talking about?" he asked Pinky. Pinky shrugged. "Beats me," he said. But inside, he wondered if Kevin was right. Maybe he was a girl. Ooh, okay. So what did we learn about Pinky? What do we know about Pinky so far? I'm going to pause the video and you're going to share, what did you learn about Pinky? All right, so today in Seesaw, you're going to tell me about Pinky. What do you know about Pinky? What's he like? So today we're going to start learning about what Pinky's like, and you're going to tell me about it. Thanks for working hard today, friends.